in this episode of American Greed. It's 10 a.m. on a quiet residential street in the picturesque suburb of Cottonwood Heights, Utah. Inside this home, 26-year-old Aaron Shamo is in his basement playing the video game Battlefield 1. And just outside, a SWAT team is mobilizing to break his door open.
We had to do this all very quickly. So the officers made a quick and rapid deployment entry into the house, and everything was just kind of frozen as is until we knew what we were dealing with.
What they are dealing with is synthetic opioids, including deadly fentanyl, up to 100 times stronger than morphine, and lots of it.
During that time in 2016, fentanyl was not one of those things we really had an eye on. We had heard about it, but didn't have any active investigations and did not expect to find one of this scope, especially here in relatively quiet Salt Lake City, Utah.
The investigation will uncover a new kind of drug ring, not Mexican cartels or inner-city street gangs, but middle-class millennials, choosing to create and sell illegal counterfeit opioids on the so-called dark web for one reason: pure greed. One of the first and most prolific is Utah's Aaron Michael Shamo, a.k.a. Pharma Master. Aaron Shamo is born in Salt Lake City, the youngest child and only son to a family with 3 daughters.
Mr. Shamo was an average, clean-cut American kid, was raised in the faith of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
He had a fairly normal childhood, had very, very good parents, good siblings, had some learning issues, was popular, wasn't bullied or particularly troubled as a child.
But in junior high, Aaron begins to head down a darker path, skipping school and getting in trouble. So his parents sent him to a strict Utah boarding school where he seems to excel, earning his high school diploma and the highest Boy Scout honor, the Eagle Scout Award for service and valor.
That was one of the things I think that helped his family feel like, okay, he's really turned this around. He's gonna grow up and he's gonna be a man we can really be proud of.
In 2009, Shamo enrolls at Utah Valley University. Aaron has always been fascinated with making it rich as an entrepreneur.
His siblings were all very successful, and so they kind of set the bar high, and he felt like he wasn't living up to his family's expectations. And I guess to him, part of that was the money side, to make money and show that you're successful by the money you bring in.
And really interested in having sort of the $1 million business idea. Reading books like Think and Grow Rich, and books like The Secret to manifest your desires and your destiny.
But 2 years in, he's failing classes and spending most of his time partying and delving into the fledgling world of Bitcoin mining. So he drops out and lands an entry-level job at eBay with his best friend, Drew Crandall. In less than a year, Crandall is fired, and Aaron Shamo thinks it's unfair that he still has to work, so he quits. The friends soon come up with a business plan combining 2 of their favorite things, party drugs and Bitcoin. They start off selling their own prescription Adderall on the dark web, a part of the internet reached through a special browser where guns and drugs are traded and money is exchanged through cryptocurrency.
It was really his ability to use and to manage the cryptocurrency that helps unlock the door for him to be able to set up shop and become an e-commerce pioneer, if you will, on the dark web.
Shamo and Crandall learn all they need on the web, searching with simple queries like, how to ship drugs. Sales are immediate, so they decide to expand, ordering drugs in bulk, repackaging and selling at a markup.
And he found that it was easy to purchase controlled substances through the internet, illegally, of course, and that there was a huge market for that. At first, it was drugs like Xanax or erectile dysfunction pills because they were very popular.
A few months into the operation, a local drug dealer gives Aaron Shamo some intel that changes his life. The big money is in fake oxycodone.
Opioid abuse in the United States is at epidemic levels.
In 2016, opioid abuse, and particularly Oxycontin addiction, is blowing up, and it's getting worse by the day. With limits on prescription pills, thousands of people are turning to illegal sources. Shamo's entrepreneurial mindset finally has a focus, and he decides to go all in, counterfeiting the pills himself. Shamo orders bulk supplies, including fentanyl from China, a much cheaper and more potent synthetic opioid used in counterfeit drugs. He sets up a pill press in his basement and watches YouTube videos to figure out how to make fake Oxycontin and Xanax.
These kids were trying to come up with these recipes on their own. They weren't chemistry majors. They found information online, and they did this through trial and error. The first batch of pills they made were sort of turned away because they didn't quite look like oxycodone. They were all splotchy and speckled. But eventually, they got the formula down, and that means that their pills became incredibly popular.
Powdered binders and fillers are mixed with fentanyl and shaken by hand. Dyes are added, blue for oxys, for example. The mixture goes into the pill press hopper, and extruded pills are stamped with illegal counterfeit stamps, also purchased online, to match the original pharmaceutical markings.
It is not uncommon with any type of even tabletop industrial pill press to be able to produce in between 7 to 10,000 pills an hour. So if each pill on the street roughly goes for, say, in between $20 to $40, and you're able to produce 7 to 10,000 pills an hour, and you're churning out pills all day, you do the math. You end up coming up with millions in dollars of illegal drug proceeds.
Shamo calls his online storefront Pharma Master, on one of the largest darknet marketplaces, Alphabay, which acts much like the legitimate eBay marketplace. Within a few months, word of Pharma Master's reliability and the quality of his pills starts to spread.
Sellers like Mr. Shamo would be rated on things like quality, price, stealth, and that's their term for how expertly the seller ships the drugs to avoid law enforcement detection. And Mr. Shamo's feedback was 360 pages worth of positive comments. People saying he's the best darknet vendor, period.
Business is so good that Shamo hires his gym buddy, Luke Kaz, to mix and press thousands of oxy pills a week. He hires 2 friends full-time for order fulfillment, packaging drugs in vacuum-sealed Mylar bags and shipping out hundreds of orders coming in by encrypted mail. Shamo also hires his pal Sean Gigi as a runner, picking up the packed orders 5 days a week and dropping them off at various mailboxes around the Salt Lake Valley.
Aaron Shamo was not your sort of bad guy movie image of a drug ringleader. He had lots of texting, lots of smiley-faced emojis, LOLs. These were sort of generally his friends, and the communication reflected a lot of friendship between them.
No wonder Aaron Shamo is yucking it up with his pals. He's growing richer by the day. But defense attorney Greg Skordas insists that for his client, it isn't all about the money, just partly about the money.
I know that people will not believe this, but they really thought they were filling a niche. They thought that a lot of people were needing pain medication and couldn't get it. They were young kids and they really felt like they were helping people. And I know that's naive, but that's really what got them into it. And of course, they made a tremendous amount of money.
Even if Shamo tells himself he's only helping people with chronic pain, by the summer of 2016, Pharma Master is shipping out up to 50 orders a day to customers in all 50 states. and is in the top 1% of all distributors on Alphabay.